everyone. Hope you are doing well. Intellipaat welcomes you to the day 3 of Digital Marketing series. In this session, you will learn about what is SEM, that is, Search Engine Machine. And you will see how SEM works. So that's all with the agenda. Now let's start the session.
Before we start the session, kindly subscribe and hit the bell icon for more updates.
What is search engine marketing? Now, interestingly, one word that was used even more commonly in the past was PPC advertising. Okay. And I will tell you why that term PPC came, right? Because when Google introduced search engine and they started advertising on search, right? Think of this period, which was 10, 12, 14 years ago, right? Think of any company who's probably has a very traditional business, has conventional channels like marketing channels like TV, print. Now imagine this advertiser, Google going to this advertiser and telling them that, hey man, why don't you come and advertise on my search engine, right? Or Yahoo going and telling them, hey, why don't you come in and advertise on search? And they would be like, why should I? I mean, what is the return? How do I know that I have put an ad there, but how do I know that it's bringing me value, right? So the way a Google or a Yahoo would articulate this for that audience is by saying that, hey, you don't worry, you have to pay me only when somebody clicks on your ad. The click is intent. At that point of time, it wasn't very evolved, but ecosystem, but it's only when a click happens that you need to pay me, right? And a number of factors will decide how much you have to pay me per click. But the short and important point is that you pay somebody only when somebody has interest, you need to pay, right? And this is very different from all other forms of advertising that used to be there. Think of television, think of print, right? The cost is paid upfront. It's not like, I pay a Sony or a Sun TV based on how many people see it, right? Or how many people buy my product. It's always an upfront payment, right? Whereas search had a very different system of making that pitch to brands and designing an advertising world for itself. And that is why it is incredibly exciting, because it's one of those first things that happened in the advertising tech world, in the digital advertising tech world, and probably one of the most oldest practices. Therefore, it has evolved over the years and has become something very nuanced. Now, how do they work, right? Very, very simple concept to understand, right? So somebody goes in and there is a search engine. It could be Yahoo, Google, etc. And I have a query in my mind, right? I need answers to something. It might be, let's say I did not sleep well yesterday night. I wake up and I wonder, hey, what happened? Why am I not getting sleep, right? Or it can be sometimes, I realize that, okay, I want to buy a motorcycle or I want to buy a car. I will start researching on search to understand what are the reviews like, which are the top performing car models. Do I have dealer network nearby, right? And when somebody starts typing in brands, there are advertisers who want to reach these consumers, correct? And there are so many people who are entering keywords which are similar. So for example, if you are trying to search for top hatchback cars or top SUV cars to buy, obviously think of automotive. How many brands are there? They all want to show their ads, correct? And not only does, let's say, a Tata, Toyota want to show their ads, they also want to pitch specific models to you, correct? So then, since there are so many people who are trying to win over that bid and show that ad to the customer, Google had to put together a very algorithm-based bidding system, right? So therefore, they introduced this bidding system. And when you are actually doing search engine marketing, at the most basic level, all you are doing is bidding. You are bidding for that keyword. You are going and, Google has set out a certain algorithm. It has given people a dashboard to interact with that algorithm, call out what is the keyword that you want to bid for. You're setting certain prices. Now, how does that happen? We'll get into the details of it soon. But this is all that search engine marketing is. If somebody were to ask you, hey, what is search engine marketing? You can start by saying that, okay, it is kind of a bidding in the digital world in a search engine for a keyword. You can kind of articulate like that. So I made it very super, super simple in chunks. But Ultimately, when somebody says search engine marketing, it's nothing but it's kind of a bidding. So what are those search engine marketing channels or platforms? So obviously, we spoke about Google search, Yahoo search, Bing search, etc. But when you are an advertiser, you are a brand trying to reach, you're a brand or a business trying to reach consumers, you will need certain platforms where, let's say, if you're the digital marketing manager in your company, you have to get onto certain platforms to put your ad out there, right? So those platforms are these. Very simple, very easy to remember, right? It's just Google Ads, Bing Ads, Yahoo Ads. Google Ads used to be called something else in the past. Okay. So yeah, AdSense is also a very relatable, very similar product, but right now I'll just not discuss that too much. It used to be called Google AdWords. You know, what you know as Google Ads today, largely, most features of it was there in something called Google AdWords in the past. Okay, so if you hear some of the old marketers who still say Google AdWords, for example, even today, sometimes it slips out of my mouth, right? Because when I started having exposure to it, it was called Google AdWords. And it was also because it was about keywords. Got it? So it's like a combination of keywords and ads, right? Obviously, Google dominates this world. Now, what is the implication of this? This means that if you have to crack search, if you have to learn search, you will have to learn Google Ads, correct? Because the other ones have only teeny tiny percentages. And even here, if you notice, some of this is, also because certain restrictions in certain countries, or somebody's computer by default comes with a certain application and people may not change it to a Google, right? So very often, if you have cracked Google, you have cracked search. Understood? This is why whenever it comes to search engine marketing, people largely start discussing Google as a platform.
Just a quick info, guys. If you want to make a career in digital marketing, then Intellipaat provides an advanced certification in digital marketing and analytics. It is taught by IIT professors and industry experts with more than 10 years of experience. This course is designed to upskill and land your dream job. Now let's continue with the session.